Welcome to another instructional video on Modbus TCP-Client, also applicable to RTU-Master. So we're using TCP-Client here in this application, but it'll be exactly the same for RTU-Master. A new function that has been introduced in version 1.2 is the function to do some manual testing. So let's just retrieve some data here just once. There we go. So we can see that all that data transmission is working. We might just have a quick look at the data log and see what that transmission looks like. Okay, now that we've done that, we have got the ability to do some testing by using what's called the test center. Now the test center is available by Command T or the test center selection under the Modbus menu. So when we click the test center, we come up with this window here. And in this window, we can manually enter a byte sequence that we want to send to the Modbus device. So let's just enter a sequence, and it is the sequence is entered hexadecimal. So we can enter hexadecimal numbers. The numbers are separated as listed up here by these characters or a space. I'm just going to use a space in here to make it easy. And you'll notice if I enter something wrong, like I put an R in here, those buttons automatically dim, and that's an indication that what's entered in the string is invalid. The same thing as when the string is completely empty, it'll go to it'll invalidate it as well. So if we need to enter something here, it needs to be something that's actually hexadecimal. So let's enter a few numbers, and they're just going to be some random numbers. They have no particular meaning. We have then got the ability to send those numbers, that hexadecimal string, to our device. So what we're sending, and we'll see in our data log window here, we'll see what we're actually sending. So let's just do a send, and you can see that was transmitted to our device. And we've also received a response from our device. So if I click on that to give us a bit of an explanation as to what that is, we'll just exit here for a moment, and we'll have a look here on that. Well, that really tells us that's an invalid data. When I click on here, we've received a response, and the response says it's an exception 01 illegal function. So the other end didn't understand it and responded with a Modbus exception. Now we can go back to our test window. In that test window, let's just have a quick look. We've also got the ability to save what we've entered here if we want to reuse it a little bit later. So we can click the save button, and I'll just make that and call that invalid, give it a name. So that is now saved, that string. Now how can we get those saved strings back? We can use the load button here, click on load, and once we click load, you can see I've saved a number of them here. A read test, another TCP read test, that's the invalid one which I've just sent. Now if I want to reuse one of those, we'll just double click on it here, and that puts that string in here. So it saves me re-entering, so I can store strings, and I can re-enter them and reuse them at a later time. Now, what if I want to get rid of some of those, like that invalid one, which is not really useful? An option click or a right click allows me to delete, move it up, or move it down. So there's a number of things we can do with those entries here. So you can keep those entries nice and clean. Once you're finished with that list, you just click anywhere out here and it'll disappear. So let's say we want to send this to the device. Let's just do that and go send, and we can see here the reply. This is the reply that has come back, the response from the Modbus device. We can investigate a little bit further, and we need to exit out of that because that's a modal window. But we can explore here what was being sent was a request for holding registers with these addresses, and here's the reply that has come back from the device. So just to reiterate, you can use Command T or the test center function here, and that allows, that was the wrong command, and that brings us back to that test center. And in the test center we've got the ability to save the strings that we've got in here, or load them back in, or delete some of the strings that we don't want. We can go delete here, it gets rid of them. All right, that's the test center function. I hope you're going to make some good use out of that, and it works really well together with the Modbus data log. Thank you for watching.